Welcome back to the Post-Up Podcast, episode 30. We've made it to 30, and this is the last one. We're done. We're ending at 30.
We might not make it to the next one.
We've made it to 30. It's over. Now, if you don't know why it's over, well, that's a joke. It's not over, unless it is over.
Unless we literally can't leave our houses next week. Which is very much could happen.
So if you don't know what's going on, if you live under a rock, then you're the safest person in the world because you're not prone to anybody. Don't clap. I'm not clapping that. Yeah, the coronavirus is happening, and not everybody's dying, everybody's coughing, and it's put a stop to the NBA. So all these past weeks where I've said I predict there'll be more basketball, I can't say it this week because there's no more basketball for a minimum of a month.
To be fair, I kind of expected it to happen at some point, but after the game finished, all the stuff with Rudy Gobert happening, it kind of happened so fast, like within like a space of like a couple minutes.
Yes, well, I settled down at 1 a.m. No, it was 12 a.m. At 12 a.m. UK time to watch the big fourth seed battle, which was Utah against Oklahoma City Thunder, and I was ready. I was ready for what I expected to be a great game of basketball, and what I got, I was playing COD at the time, and I was watching the stream. So waiting for the game to start, and I just saw the Billy Donavan and whoever's in charge of Utah.
Quinn Snyder.
I actually know his name.
You should know him.
I know him. Yeah. I just didn't know him. I didn't know I know his name. I didn't know whatever. They were talking to the refs, and I was like, "This." I thought my stream had like gone forward, then looped back, and I was like, "Why are they talking for ages?" And I put the sound on, and they were like, "We're having a delay the game here. I don't know what's going on." I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Maybe." Well, I don't know what's going on. That's a bit weird. And then they said that they're waiting for the NBA to give them the all clear to play the game. So they all went back into the locker room, and then about 10-15 minutes later, they said the game's been postponed. And then a half hour later, Adam Silver called off the league.
Yeah. So
this Corona thing is a big problem. No affiliation to the beer Corona. Got nothing to do with them. So, yeah, let's leave that there. Let's not put their numbers down because people are scared. It's nothing to do with them, guys. Just, all right? Cool. I've got that covered because I don't want any slander to that company because not like I drink Corona.
No, I've never tried it.
It's not bad. It's an easy drink, but, yeah, they're not killing people. So, you're still safe to drink it. But it's starting to become a problem, and they've... Well, obviously, it's killing people around the world.
Yeah, I feel like people were like dismissing it at the start, and now, because I follow mainly American people on Twitter, so I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't get off Twitter, because I don't know why, it was kind of funny seeing like all like, it was like just the pure panic with the Americans, where they didn't realise how bad it was, but now the fact the NBA has been cancelled, Tom Hanks had got it, so I think now it's finally clicked with them that...
Get well soon,
this is
Tom
a serious thing.
and his wife.
And his wife, yeah.
Maria, what's her name?
I don't know.
Don't remember her name. 1 minute. Tom and his wife. Rita. I was close.
Rita.
No, I don't think it's Rita. She's been about, but I don't think Tom. Allegedly. Yeah, it was funny because the US and the UK, they're the two countries that are not taking this very seriously. They're kind of like, meh, it'll pass, and then.
No, it won't.
and then the US are kind of be like, okay, let's ban the flights. The flights, every inbound, outbound flight in America is stopped, apart from he stopped all the flights from Europe except the UK. And it's still us in the UK. This might be the last episode because we're doing nothing.
Yeah, we're just sitting around. We're like sitting ducks. We're just waiting for it to happen.
So, cheers, Boris Johnson. So this might be the last episode
for a long time.
Yeah, if the UK isolate themselves, because we're planning to close the schools.
It should happen soon, but I bet they will wait another week.
I don't mind 2 weeks of isolation because I don't really like leaving the house.
It's gonna
anyway.
be no difference for us.
I'll be sat in this chair playing COD 2K, having a good time, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm welcoming the isolation.
Bring it on.
Hoping it happens sooner rather than later. But yeah, a lot of sporting events have fallen. So what should Adam Silver and the guys in charge, what should they do?
Well, it's weird now because obviously they said at least a month is going to be, the NBA is going to be on hold for at least a month. So there's a couple options. They could, after this month is over, if it's safe to play, they could continue the rest of the games and then play the playoffs. but that'd go deep into the off season. They'd mess around with the draft, free agency, summer league, and players won't have their necessary time off. So I don't think that will work. They could finish with the current standings now and just start the playoffs whenever they feel ready. Or my favourite one is, once it's deemed safe, play the rest of the 82 games, but only the top 4 teams make the playoffs. So you just abandon the first round and go straight to the conference semi-finals.
Or they can just simulate the rest of the year. Just go on 2K, get all the rosters onto, and
that would be
just press sim season, and then luck of the draw at that point, isn't it? Whoever wins it wins it. Imagine like Houston win it, and they're like, yeah, and it's like, this isn't fair. Of course they do, because Harden's efficient on 2K. He's not efficient in real life. Yeah, that's my Harden. Yeah, I like the idea of playing the 4 games then having the. Yeah, I like the idea of the top 4 just going through. I also like the idea of just stopping the season now and going straight to the playoffs when they're ready.
But it's going to really annoy me looking through the record books where you see like all the players 82 games, 82 games, 82 games, and now this season's going to be like 60 odd or like 55 or however many there is.
Yeah, it's annoying for the old books.
Yeah, but again now it'll be a part of history, because I don't think the NBA has ever stopped like this. Obviously, what's it called?
I don't know. Not in your head.
The NBA lockout, that's the only time where they stop. So the fact that they stop because of a virus is very like new and it's not happened before. So
and it might never start again if we all die.
I mean, let's look on the positive side of things.
It's very unlikely that we'd all die unless the virus.
I mean, I was on Plague Inc. yesterday and I eliminated all life on Earth, so
nice.
It could happen.
Yeah, so cheers, Rudy Gobert.
Why did you touch all
the mics?
the mics?
Why'd you touch the mics for, Rudy?
Like, why?
And then we will say it probably wasn't because he touched the mics, because the symptoms take 5 days to show.
I mean, we never know. We're not scientists.
Yeah, we're not scientists, but allegedly the symptoms take 5 days to show, and he touched the mics yesterday or 2 days ago, and he got diagnosed as positive yesterday. So it's unlikely it was because of the mics, but it's just a very funny coincidence.
Everything developed so quickly though, because I think it was yesterday morning for us, or like maybe 2 days ago, San Francisco, they said no more gatherings of people over 1,000. So the Warriors had to ban all fans from the stadiums.
Don't get any fans anyway.
So that the league then was going to just ban fans and still play the games. And obviously, Rudy had to go and mess that up. Very quickly, like...
We're not blaming Rudy, but we're blaming Rudy.
Yeah, we are blaming Rudy.
Okay, we're blaming Rudy.
But then again, I wonder where you got it from. Because obviously he hasn't
Rudy.
he hasn't been abroad. Yeah. He's been in the NBA, so you caught it from somewhere.
Like we were looking at the map. There's quite a lot of cases in New York. They've played Boston. They've played the Knicks. Like they've travelled a lot. They've had quite a few away games recently. So he's been about.
Yeah, all up in the New York area, Massachusetts. There's a lot of cases, so you never know. You could have just caught one. Well, you obviously caught one.
Yeah, obviously. And obviously he's in a lot of they've been in a lot of airports recently. So, but yeah, the players of Oklahoma City Thunder and Utah are all being checked now, because apparently Chris Paul ran over to the Utah bench to see what's going on, and they all quickly shooed him away. Which I hope Chris Paul doesn't get it.
Now with Moutier, there was a report came out that said he got it, but the guy isn't Woj Shams, so I don't want to believe it. So like,
do you like Moutier that much? You just don't want to believe it.
I mean, I don't particularly want anyone to get coronavirus, but I'm waiting until someone like reputable comes and says it. So but like things are spreading. Like yesterday, whilst you were asleep, a fake report came out saying a bunch of players.
How did you know I was asleep?
Because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I was asleep. Yeah.
It was a fake report came out just trying to get some sort of clout, and it worked.
Nice.
So like now more than ever, like all the fake reports are gonna come out saying like LeBron got it.
What did the fake report say?
It was something about players getting transported to a hospital that didn't even exist.
Oh.
I know, had like 10,000 likes.
Nice. Yeah, people. Yeah, it's the best time to do stuff like that, but it isn't a good thing. It's not a good thing to do, because like there's no positives of doing that. Like you're not going to gain an audience through spreading lies, and you're just going to get one banging tweet, and that means nothing.
Are you going to put it on your resume? Or?
Yeah, I don't think they accept that. Like,
I lied on Twitter.
I lied on Twitter. I was like, join the queue. I'm not saying that I'm in the queue.
Well,
I barely tweet anything.
You were.
Well,
transfers.
no, yeah, no, actually, yeah, I was in the queue, but I got out of the queue. No, that's a good point, actually. Well, so there actually has been a week of basketball that's happened. We won't get another month of basketball, so I don't know if the podcast will continue. Like I said, we might be in isolation, or we'll think about something to talk about next week.
If it's safe enough to travel,
if we're safe to travel,
it could happen.
We'll have another episode. But if
I got to
not,
catch a train to get down here, and I don't.
Just wait. I'll give you a mask if you want one. I've got a mask. I can give you one.
But if after this one, our next one could be in October.
Yeah. Or whenever the draft happens.
Or whenever
Whenever something happens.
Yeah.
But there has been a week of basketball. I won't end this podcast by saying I predict another week of basketball because that would be incorrect.
That would be a big prediction if you got right.
Yeah, that'd be quite the prediction. But so there has been a week, and what has happened in that week, Owen? I mean, it's been another iffy week for you.
Well, we played 3 bad teams and we lost 1 and we won 2. So we started with Sacramento, beat him 125 to 108. Toby showed up again.
Shock.
Shake also showed up. That's not shock.
Not at the moment.
Yeah, so we handled them.
Oh, sorry, you forgot Raul Neto showed up with a big 16 points.
Yeah, sure, okay, Neto showed up. He decided, let's show up. So we handled business there. So we went into Golden State full of confidence, saying, this is a bad
nice
team.
Easy win. Curry didn't play because of flu.
Draymond Green didn't play.
Curry doesn't have coronavirus, just had flu, missed 2 games because of flu.
So we thought that, this would be an easy game. So we were winning throughout the whole game, and then something happened. We lost. But we lost by 4. Al almost had a triple-double, so that was good. And then against the Pistons yesterday, our last game for what could be for many months, we won. So we left on a winning note.
Embiid was back.
30 points, 40 rebounds. Al Horford dropped 20 and 10 and 6 assists, which they came up with a very surprising stat. This is the first time since March 2013 that Horford dropped 20 and 10 in back-to-back games.
Wow, what a player.
I was so shocked.
It's about time to hit some good form.
It's just our luck. They finally figured out how to play together, and then the season's over. And if we did do that rule where only the top 4 seeds make the playoffs...
You're not in the playoffs?
We're not in the playoffs.
If they didn't play... If we played the game against Utah and beat them, we'd be level with Utah and we would have been in the playoffs as well. They've ruined it. We'd have to play the Lakers, but yeah. So there's another interesting. You haven't had a good week since the first week of the season when you went 5-0. Yeah, you've literally just been okay. We've lost the rubbish teams again.
Yeah,
it's been difficult, but Embiid's back and gone again because we're not playing for another month. It's hard to talk about like the future because there's no future, or it's uncertain.
If the season is suspended for like another month or 2, and we do go into playoffs for the full 8 teams, Ben Simmons will be back.
He's reevaluated in 3 more weeks.
Did you see if it's suspended into like the summer, like July, August, and the playoffs start? I think it's the Raptors who got Brooklyn in the first round. So they're thinking, we got an easy first round game. But if they play in August, KD and Kyrie will be back. They'll both be back.
Imagine the Nets just win the playoffs because KD's back.
That would be so funny.
That'd be the best thing ever. They're like, imagine they win it. Golden State didn't make it. Golden State would have Clay back as well. Wow.
That's funny though. Golden State went from from a team made the finals to this season being the only team to get eliminated from the playoffs. They were the only team out of contention. Yeah.
Well, they 5 years in a row made the playoffs, and now they've got the worst seed in the worst record in the league.
The only team in the league to have no chance of making the playoffs.
That's what happens when your whole team gets injured.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it's been a good week for OKC, apart from the whole Utah situation where we're unsure if any OKC players have contracted the virus. We'll hope they haven't. Let's hope CP3 didn't get close enough to that bench.
Mm.
And Utah coming in and infecting our Chesapeake arena. I missed the word there. But yeah, we beat the Knicks. I watched the first half. I went into the next game thinking we'll probably just win this by 2 like we usually do. We're against the smaller teams. We give them a chance and we batter them in the fourth quarter. We just give them the old beatdown, the old OKC fourth quarter beatdown. We just battered them in the game generally. CP3, 21 points. Gallo had 22. SGA with 18. Dennis Schroeder 16 off the bench. Just a typical OKC performance this season. All the boys played good basketball. and I went to bed at half-time because I knew it'd be an easy win. And then the early game on Sunday, I think it was, Boston Celtics, and a game where I thought would be a very high-scoring game, and I was wrong because it was a very low-scoring game. Now that is what you call analysis of a basketball game, but an incredible game. I mean, you watched it as well, didn't you?
I also watched it.
I mean, it was the typical fourth quarter battering from OKC again. I don't have the stats how many scored in the fourth quarter.
See, Chris Paul's defense on Jason Tatum right at the end of the game was crazy.
Yeah, when you
for a little guy.
When you're looking at the matchup, when they put it out, and like because Celtic had the inbound, and I was like, oh, I wonder who's going to take Tatum, because obviously they're going to give the ball to Tatum. And I saw CP3 on him. I was like, what are we doing? What? He's just going to fade away over CP3. He's like a foot taller then. Yeah, we only won it was the third quarter that won us the game. We outscored them 31-21 in the third, and then 22-20 in the fourth. But Dennis Schroeder had a good game, 27 points, but in the fourth quarter there was he turned the ball over once. He gave away a needless foul. There was it seemed like the fourth quarter dominance was fading in that game, but then he made the amazing steal on Kemba Walker.
Play.
I thought when I first saw it could have been a foul because it looked like he just pummeled into Kemba Walker. But no, when you look at the replay, excellent double team from CP3 and Dennis Rudy. He got the ball and made the layup, and then like you said, the CP3 defense, and a game where we played without SGA. I didn't think we'd win when I saw SGA playing, because we started with Terence Ferguson came into the team with Dort, so he's not the same offensive player that he was last season. So you're looking at that thinking, oh God, where's the points going to come from? CP3 obviously, and I mean it was a really good game to watch.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
And then we didn't play Utah because it got postponed. So a good week, and we're on a 3-game win streak, and the season's over now. So never mind. In the 5th seed though, up the boys above Houston. So there's been a lot of movement in the past week with backroom staff and coaching teams. Not the Knicks, the Nets have fired Kenny Atkinson. A bit of a strange one.
I was so shocked.
They fired him off the back of 2 really good performances from Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he sacked, there was rumours of the players wanted him out, and you're thinking, Kyrie wanted him out.
There's only a couple of players on that team who has the pull to get a coach fired. Only 2 I can think of, and that's Kyrie and KD.
Yeah, well, there's there's quite a lot of players in the league, but they're the main 2. Well, maybe not KD, but Kyrie's one of the main players in the league that you'd think would. Him and LeBron are the players that you think they would definitely get somebody sacked. I mean, LeBron would trade the whole team.
LeBron has done it in the past.
Yeah, LeBron has done a lot. LeBron is the best GM ever.
He's not far from it.
Where are the Lakers?
And
what did LeBron do? Trade his entire team for AD?
Look at the Cavs. Look at the position they're in now. That's from LeBron.
He's not there anymore.
What
did they do when he was there?
Anyway.
Win a championship. But yeah, Kenny Atkinson is gone. I think Kyrie did it.
Kyrie did it. The one coach that makes sense is Tyronn Lue, who coached him at the Cavs.
And Kyrie, that's who he wants.
Yeah, and he's at the Clippers now, I think, as an assistant coach. So that just makes way too much sense.
Do you think it'll happen?
No, because it makes too much sense.
Huh.
The Nets aren't smart.
Yeah, true.
They'd probably hire, I don't know, Mark Jackson.
It's Jeff Van Gundy.
Can you imagine?
Bring it back to Van Gundy.
Tragic.
Be good. And the Cavs have hired some bloke. Do you want to talk about this bloke?
Well, he was the assistant manager. He's been the interim coach.
Oh, so they've just give him the job.
Kept him and give him a multi-year contract.
Oh.
So
they've really given up.
Yeah, well, look at his head coaching record: 85 wins, 131 losses.
Good.
With good teams as well. Houston and Memphis.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, he's not very good. He's a good assistant, but as a head coach, he's not quite there.
Alright, have fun tanking for the next 7 years, Cavs, and hope something good happens. I mean, I doubt it, but have fun. There's not much fun you can have.
Well, yeah, it's Cleveland. There's not much fun there.
You've got a point guard that doesn't pass,
and another little point guard who can't defend or
score, pass or.
And then you got all your big men, Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love, who don't even want to be there.
Drummond.
Who?
Yeah. Oh, well, he said he wouldn't sign on if. Not sign on. He's not on the dole. he wouldn't sign a new contract if whoever was the coach before stayed.
John Beelan.
I forgot his name. That's his name. So yeah, it's, there's not much to say about the Cavs. They're just a
very murky
rubbish team, and they're going to have a rubbish few years. So last week we did a whole bit about Houston and looking like the ultra small ball was working. They were winning games. Then we realised, they probably haven't really played anybody of any skill or like a real challenge. And then they played the Knicks, the Hornets, the Clippers and the Magic, and they've lost 4 in a row.
And they've been very ugly losses.
Yeah, well, the Knicks game, I mean, losing to the Knicks full stop, that's embarrassing. Yeah. You look at the Hornets game, the Hornets went 20-0 up. A 20-0 run in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it did very quickly go to 30-27. Like, Houston brought it back, but then they still got beaten by 20.
I just don't understand how that's even possible when you got Harden on your team. Like, surely he can...
Russ didn't play the Hornet game.
Yeah. But, like, surely you can get a foul from somewhere to, like, go to the line.
And then the Magic, it was 46-71 to the Magic at halftime.
Jesus.
And they also got blown. I think that was a 20-point defeat as well. And Harden put up a quadruple-double.
With turnovers.
10 turnovers. Yeah. Excellent game. That's Russ numbers. He's rubbing off on him.
I was on the Rockets.
Not like that.
I was on the Houston subreddit, and their fans are starting to turn on Harden. They're getting fed up.
About time.
Because apparently in all these games, he's playing with no effort. He doesn't care.
Ooh, now you see it, boys. So, it takes you to get another superstar to finally see it. Because CP3 was injured all the time.
It's interesting because they have such a weird roster. It's like the Sixers, bro.
Yeah, it's weird playing basketball with no centres.
It's like the Sixers, bro. We got all centres in our starting line where they got none. So it's kind of strange. But yeah, at least they tried to... Well, they experimented. At least they're trying to like find new ways to win. It didn't work.
Yeah. I mean...
They're curious.
When I get the NBA's changing now, and centres are not what they once used to be. But then you look at... Like, some of the games they've played, Valanciunas put up, like, 28 and, like, 18 rebounds. Like, they're getting out-rebounded, like, every single game they play. Because
Zubats lit them up.
Yeah, like, you're seeing bang-average centres get a lot of points because they can't... The PJ Tucker's 6'5". He could not defend anybody in the post.
Like their general manager, Daryl Morey, he's trying too hard to be a pioneer. Where it's 3-point ways where you only shoot 3-point shots. Yeah, it kind of works, but with the Warriors, when they did it, they had the best offense in the league, all the motion, they led the league in assists, there was no ISO, and they still shot the most 3-point shots. Where with the Houston, it's just ISO leading to a step back three, which is not efficient. So,
yeah,
what they're trying to do, I see it, but like, just do better.
If they wanted to get like good 3-point shots in that, you don't go no centres, you go a massive centre and a massive power forward just to pick up the rebounds when they miss the three and dish it out.
You're going to miss, so you need rebounds.
Yeah, so they've got this one wrong.
Or if you want players who can shoot, trade for a centre who can shoot. How about that?
Yeah, and just have lots of spacing.
Yeah. I just don't get why they felt a 6'5" centre was necessary for them to succeed.
Yes, it's not going well. It's not going well. And, I mean, whatever happens to the NBA, they might not even make the playoffs.
They've got all summer to decide what to do now, since there've been no more games.
They can sit down and watch all these tapes and see what's going wrong. I mean, it's very obvious.
It's very obvious, yeah.
Talking about another team who, well, not a team last season, more than this season, but who just got things wrong, best to say. Jimmy Butler went on JJ Redick's podcast the other day and had a lot to say about Brett Brown and the Philadelphia team. I bet, Owen, obviously, being a Philadelphia fan, you had a great time watching this.
No. It kind of just made me sad, like, because I've always defended Brett, you know, but
I'm seeing that a lot less recently.
Seeing what Jimmy had to say is so damning on Brett. Like, as a coach, you're meant to lead by example, right? Like, you're meant to show your players, this is what you're meant to do, and this is how you're going to do it. By what Jimmy says, now obviously this is only one side of the story, so you want to hear both sides. But with what Jimmy said, and JJ, who's always been a good pro, he backed him up. Brett didn't seem like the type of person that sort of, I don't want to say helps, because Brett has made a lot of players better, but when it comes to talking to or getting through to superstar players, Brett hasn't been able to do that at all.
Yeah, it was the fact that Butler was saying that like he didn't know who was in charge, and the fact that when he was saying that they were just sat down watching like clips for ages and nobody was saying anything.
Well, they said after the trade they brought him, JJ, Ben, and Embiid into his office.
It was before the Toby trade, wasn't
Just
it?
before the Toby trade.
When they were planning the Toby trade.
They were all sitting in the room watching film, and nothing got accomplished. How have you got 4 star players and a coach who learned under Greg Popovich? How did they have a meeting and got nothing accomplished?
I assume they're all sat there and Brett just goes, I'm going to play this tape and we'll discuss it. And they're all just there watching it and everybody's like, then at the end of the tape he goes, anything got anybody to say? And they're like, no.
Well, this is
they'll
what
just leave.
Jimmy said when he was there. The only thing he could hear was Brett clicking on his remote to like fast forward and rewind. And after they finished watching film, it was just silence. Jimmy said, everyone thinks I'm a bleep, so he's just going to sit back and be quiet. And then once they finished, Brett said, let's go practice. And Jimmy walked out the room and said to JJ, why would I ever go back in there? So
yeah, it's
and with JJ, I always felt he was like an important part of the team. Obviously, he was a very important part of the team. And he said, after the game-winning shot quite hit, he kind of knew straight away that, look, I'm not their priority, so I'm probably going to have to go somewhere else. Which is kind of sad because JJ was so like valuable for us, and he never felt he was valuable by the team. Also, Jimmy, he said the main reason he wanted to leave is, I don't know who asked him, but someone high up in the team asked him, how controllable are you? You don't say that to a person, do you? Like, will we be able to control you? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. You look at like obviously Philly have got like the whole the process thing, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it works so well. They've got Embiid, they got Simmons, like they did so well to go from that 10-win season to like making the playoffs regularly now. But if you look at the management,
it's been very dodgy.
It's kind of like luck that you've fallen into the like spots that you have rather than excellent management.
It was always the plan to get high picks, just to get talented players.
Yeah,
that was always the goal.
But you didn't have the right people in charge to control those.
Brett was
the
right coach to lead us through it because he's going to play development. But I don't know if he's the right guy to take us to the next step.
That's why Brett probably should be a coach, and you have and then you have a head coach who.
But Jimmy gave a good example of Eric Spoelstra, who is one of the best coaches in the league, of how he tells his players what to do and how to do it. So Duncan Robinson, is an elite 3-point shooter. In one practice, he got the ball and dribbled into the mid-range. Spoelstra yelled at him saying, why are you dribbling? You just stay outside and shoot threes, that's all you do. But he knows his role, that's all he's going to do. That's all he's done this season.
Yeah.
And look,
he's almost got to 300 3-pointers this season. At
a high percentage, so he knows what to do. Whereas you had Glenn Robinson coming up the other day saying, I have no clue what my role is. Like, come on, like, I just don't understand why or how players are like that for us. Like, when players leave our team, very rarely do they leave saying, I had a fantastic time here. Very rarely.
Bit of a coincidence that Jimmy Butler named his current coach when he was saying, oh, Brett Brown's not very good, but you know a guy that is, the guy that I currently work for.
Everyone knows he's a fantastic coach, though.
Yeah, it's just a bit like, you leave somewhere you want happy, and then was like, but I'm really happy where I am right now, wink. It's like, I'm having a great time right now, don't trade me. Build around me. He's the best coach in the league. But yeah, it doesn't look great for Philly. I often ask you how you feel about what Philly should do, and you've changed your opinion multiple times. What about right now? What are you saying? What should happen?
Well, my whole plan was to wait until the playoffs to see how we perform. Obviously, that's out the window now. We don't know when the playoffs are going to be played, so it's so tough. Like right now, people who say we should fire Brett, who do we get to replace him? There's no good coaches on the market. People are saying Kenny Atkinson. If we get Kenny Atkinson as our head coach, I'm not watching basketball. But the only realistic option is Kenny Atkinson, and if we get him, I'm not watching basketball next year because that's like people are saying Brett should go because he can't coach a team, but all he's got is player development. He's got no understanding of the X's and O's of basketball. Kenny Atkinson is there, but worse.
Don't worry about not watching basketball next season. You won't watch basketball this season either.
Yeah. So, but like, yeah, what do we even do at this point? I'm not going to trade Embiid. I'm not going to trade Simmons.
Rebuild. Yeah.
It depends what we could get for him. Toby, please get him out.
I would say change the staff, and if it still doesn't work, then change the players.
Yeah, I think that is the plan at some point, but
Just who to get in.
Yeah, I like if we fired Brett right now, I'd be terrified because there's not very many good coaches on the market. So yeah, it's a tough situation really. Like, are we okay with being a 50-win team every year, getting knocked out in the second round, or are you willing to take that risk for a better coach, but knowing you could hire the next Fizdale and end up back in the lottery in 2 years' time? Like
the good stuff.
Are you going to take that risk? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's only one coach, well, two coaches I would happily fire Brett to hire. That's the Bucks coach, which is never going to happen, and Jay Wright, who's at Villanova, who apparently he said the only NBA team he'd coach is the Sixers.
Not Billy Donovan. You
No.
don't want Billy Donovan?
No.
Good, 'cause he's mine.
So yeah, there's only two coaches I'd be happy. But our ownership are so dumb. So they would fire Brett and hire some scrub.
Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, even worse probably.
Well, the best thing for you is basketball never returned then, really, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably come back at some point. But it's just delaying the inevitable pain that you'll suffer for the next few years.
Jesus.
Yeah. It doesn't look positive, does it? Like you said, there's no good coaches. There's nothing going on that look positive for you. Yeah, I got some fun stats. That's a nice little sing song. What? I found some stats, and they're fun. So I'm gonna talk about some fun stats. So last week, I forgot his name. Lonzo's dad, LeVar Ball, announced that playoff Lonzo has been activated, and well, this season he has shown his improvements in some aspects because he's shooting 38% from 3-point, which is a high percentage than Trae Young, Devin Booker, and Danny Green.
To be fair, those three players do take tougher shots.
Yeah, so obviously Booker and Trae, they're the main guys on their team. They're going to be taking all the shots. But Danny Green, kind of like...
He's had a bad season.
Yeah, but like as a player, he's kind of like dish out at the corner, switch to the three. So it's quite nice for Lonzo to be shooting better than Danny Green. But 3-throw percentage, he's shooting 57%.
Better than last year, I think.
Yeah, but still pretty bad because it's worse than Andre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan, and Ben Simmons. Which is pretty embarrassing if you've seen any of those guys shoot 3 throws.
Hey, Ben's improved. He's shooting 70% recently.
Did you see Mo Bamba's free throw the other day?
No.
Ooh, it's embarrassing.
God.
It's embarrassing. But some more stats. James Harden is the third player in NBA history to miss 4,000 3-pointers.
Who's the other two?
James Harden Sr. and James Harden Jr. No, probably James Harden. Probably Steph Curry's one of them. Yeah, but I just like that stat because I hate James Harden. So that's why that's in the list for. But yeah, not surprised. He misses a lot of shots. And I like to, every time Houston play, I see how many points Harden got, then I scroll to efficiency and then laugh because it's always good. Well, this stat's a bit dated, so I don't know how, I assume it's more games, but the Rockets have been out-rebounded in more than 15 games straight. So basically, since they've gone small ball, they've not out-rebounded a team.
That's no surprise, to be fair.
No, because PJ Tucker's 6'5". There was also funny things I saw on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, Harden had his beef with Giannis, and he said that it's not hard to be 7 foot and run and dunk. And people were saying, that's all Russell Westbrook does. He's 6'3" and just runs and dunks. I mean, it's literally the same thing. And everybody praises Westbrook for his amazing athleticism, so why is Giannis different? It's not. He's just a bit taller.
A bit? Jeez, almost a 4 foot.
The Clippers are unbeaten when their whole team is healthy. So, I mean, like Kawhi, PG...
we know what whole team means.
Harold, yeah, basically the whole team. When everybody's... When they're starting 5 plays, they're unbeaten.
Good things happen.
Yeah, so, I mean, not a surprise because they're very good and they've got very good players. We expect them to be. The first season, obviously, they've had injury worries, but yeah, that's not a surprise, but a fun stat nonetheless. Indiana Pacers are the only team in the league without 23 pointers in a single game. Now that,
really?
Yeah. Well, it kind of makes sense because they don't really have a 3-point shooter. Oladipo's a mid-range guy.
Well,
shoots kind of inefficiently. Sabonis doesn't shoot as many 3-pointers as he had done before. And they don't have any other players on their team, so... Who else? Who shoots threes for Indiana?
McDermott?
Exactly. I mean, he played for OKC for a bit. I know about
Miles
McDermott.
Turner?
Exactly.
Really.
It's like the same efficiency as Sabonis. It's not that... Yeah. So it's not a shock, but it's a shock to actually see
in
the
today's
stat.
NBA more than anything.
Yeah.
That's a shock.
A nice little stat for you. The Sixers snapped their 9-game losing... snapped their 9-game road losing streak in Sacramento. The last time they beat Sacramento away was 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was our 10-win season.
That's embarrassing.
Was it? It might
I
have been.
thought 16 was your 10-win season.
15-16.
But yeah, why'd you lose to Sacramento all the time? Luka Doncic has set the Mavs record for triple-doubles, passing Jason Kidd. He's got 22.
Already? Wow.
Yeah, already. Fun stat. Bright future. I mean, yeah. As you'll see if we do an episode next week, if we're still allowed to think, we'll do our top 25 under 25. Obviously, last week we spoke about ESPN's list. We'll do our own list next week, if we're allowed to leave the house. Goran Dragic has passed Dwayne Wade for the most threes in Heat history. He's moving to 5th place on the list with 582 threes. I'm shocked that he's made that many. Obviously, he's been there for a while, but...
Been there for a couple of years now.
D-Wade. Oh, obviously, D-Wade's not like a big 3-point shooter either. He's more of a mid-range guy.
Yeah.
But still, Goran Dragic. Very good. Probably the second best 6-man point guard in the league.
First being Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who else? I'm going to say Raul Neto, is it? Yeah, that's pretty much it for my fun stats. Oh no, I got more. LeBron James is averaging 38 and 10 on 55% efficiency since the All-Star break. I mean, MVP form.
Yeah. People are kind of overreacting, saying he's the MVP because he had 2 good games.
He's the MVP because he's 35 and he's running the league.
Giannis is the MVP and it's not even close.
He
closed the gap, to be fair to him.
I'm Team LeBron.
LeBron closed the gap.
I think he'll win it because the NBA love him as well.
Yeah, probably.
And because Jordan won one at 35.
Yeah.
So I think they'll give LeBron one at 35.
He probably
as
will
well.
just give it to him, yeah.
Yeah, I hope he does get it. He deserves it. Did you see, after one of the games, Kuzma put the crown on his head?
Yeah, I saw that.
And people were going to the picture of Giannis when he put the crown on his own head, and he said, "Real goats."
A king doesn't crown himself.
A king doesn't crown himself. I mean, I didn't say it, but I did say it. I agree. The Miami Heat are 7-1 when Iguodala plays fewer than 20 minutes, and they're 0 for 5 when he plays 20 plus minutes. I mean, that's a shocking stat because
he's old now, so we can't really sustain that level of play through the whole game.
But it's just like going back to his days at Golden State and how good of a player he is, and then looking at him now when he plays more than 20 minutes, you're gonna lose the game. He's like on like 20, like 59, and the coach is like, get him out. Now, a couple of stats which I'm a very big fan of. OKC have won 16 games entering the 4th quarter trailing. Wow. That's why we call us the 4th quarter Thunder.
Who's second on the list?
Utah and Philly.
Yes.
Only with 8 though. We have 16.
I'm so surprised
we have
we're up
16. Yeah, but we're streets ahead. Another good one. OKC have won 5 games this season after trailing by 18 plus points. Now, that's heart. That's what you call
good.
heart.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was against, but I remember watching one of the games and we were down by like 25. And I think it was more than that, and we came back and won. Like I said earlier, Duncan Robinson is on pace to be the 3rd player to make 300 threes this season. I mean, he was on pace, and then they cancelled the league, so sad. Trae Young is the fastest player to reach 350 3-pointers made in 140 games, passing Dame Lillard. I mean, very good player. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. The Raptors have won 17 straight games when Pascal Siakam scores 25 plus points. Well, that's a cool stat.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's basically saying when their best player plays good, they win.
Basically. Yeah.
Except it's a good start, but then you look at Washington, and when Bradley Beal puts up 40, they always lose. So it's like,
you got to have a good team around you.
Yeah. Domantas Sabonis is the first Pacers player ever to get 50 double-doubles. That's a shock.
That's a big shock, that is.
Who have the Pacers had that would have...
Well, they've had some decent big men in the past. Like Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, that's...
Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, Roy Hibbert.
So surely, I'd have thought David West, surely
more than
someone would have done that by now.
Because 50 double-doubles isn't, that much.
For, a good player, for an all-star, that's not a lot.
I mean, he is an all-star, big old Domantas.
Yeah, I'm saying, so they've had all-stars in the past.
And there's my fun stats. Do. Team of the week. This will be the last team of the week for a long time. We'll do team of the century next week. No, team of the week. Like every week, it's the 5 best players who've played the best basketball over the past 7 days. My first player on the list is Mr. Terry Rozier, a player that we've often, it's on both of our lists, by the way.
Yeah.
A player that we've often bullied, slated on this show for being inefficient, greedy, and thinks he's better than he actually is. But makes the list. He's 27 points per game, shooting 61% from 3-point. Now, that's something I didn't ever expect to see from Terry Rozier.
Well, he's always capable of having a big game every now and again, but...
This is a big week.
This has been a big week for him, so fair play to him.
Again, catching heat at the worst time. The worst time. My next player is my man CP3. Let's hope he hasn't got coronavirus, because he did approach the Utah bench, but a good week, averaging about 25 points per game, and just 2 very big games. Basically won us both games against the Knicks and against the Celtics.
My other guard is Norman Powell, the guy who won Player of the Week in real life. He's putting up almost 24 points per game, and for a role player, that's massive. He's been massive. He's been huge for the Raptors this season. Fair play to him.
And he's my next player as well. He's my first forward. You said it. Great week. He's been brilliant since the All-Star break. And there was a picture. I think it was Norman Powell's been amazing since he held somebody's child.
Yeah. Fred VanVleet, I think.
Yeah, he carried Fred VanVleet's child into the arena, and he's just been on form since that. So shout out to Fred VanVleet's child.
My first forward is Terrence Ross. Now, he's very a hot and cold player. This week, very hot. 23 points per game, 60% from the 3-point line. Again, what a week. Efficiently as well. That's the main thing for me. And on an Orlando team that doesn't have much offense, he's so important to them. I was going to say, he's important for the playoffs. Obviously, there might not be no playoffs now, so it might well be for nothing, but he's had a good week.
Good luck next year.
Yeah.
And we both got the same power forward, and it's Christian Wood.
Now, I watched him last night, and the fact that we had him in our team and we got rid of him, it kind of sucks. He's such a good player now.
It's a very good power forward. I've always been a bit of a fan, and he's got passed about.
He did good last year with the Pelicans, and I don't know why they didn't bring him back. But this week he averaged 28 points and 9 rebounds. For a player who was undrafted, is always overlooked. It's been an incredible week for him. Yeah,
a couple of 30-point games in there, and just getting rebounds and getting points. Great player. Keep doing it, dog. Keep rolling.
Well,
you can't.
No chance this season now.
I keep forgetting there's no more basketball. My centre is AD. Another good week. They've played 4 games. They've won 3, lost 1. He's put up 30 points per game. And what do you expect? Is AD best centre in the league?
Probably, yeah. My centre is the actual best centre in the league, Aaron Baines.
When he wants to be.
Yeah. When DeAndre Ayton doesn't play, for some reason Baines turns into a superstar. I think he dropped 39 points, didn't he, on 8 3-point shots? He made 8 3-point shots, which is just insane.
Yeah, who's that against?
I can't remember, but I sent you that step back 3 he took.
The most awkward step back 3 you could ever watch.
But it went in.
I've never seen a centre like Joel Embiid try a step back 3.
But he had a great start of the season when Ayton wasn't there, when he was suspended for drugs. I know Ayton is out again
for taking drugs, not just drugs. He went dealing.
Yeah, But now he's out again.
Maybe that's where Dion Waiters got his edibles from.
Baines is thriving. So maybe all it takes for Baines to be good is
to
Aiton
start.
to do drugs.
No,
Where's you going with that?
I was to start as the centre.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Okay, team of the week. Players of the week. On Real Life, you said he was Norman Powell and probably LeBron James. I mean, they give it to him quite regularly. Owen, who did you go for?
Mine was Christian Wood.
Who's nah?
Right, Christian Wood, and for my Western Conference player, I had none in my team of the week, so I chose to choose no
2
one.
weeks in a row you've had no West.
Is
West
it?
Yeah, last week you didn't put.
Nah, I did.
Oh, was it the week before?
Probably. Yeah, the week before.
Yeah, okay, week before. But yeah, I'll go for CP3 and Norman Powell. And that's the 30th and probably the last episode.
For a very long time.
Now we'll see what happens. If, like we said, if we're in isolation and can't leave the house, there won't be another episode for a while. If not, and we're freely allowed to leave the house, we'll have an episode next week.
Maybe.
And that might be... Well, we got things to talk about for next week.
What?
We got things to talk about for next week. We have things that we could talk about.
Yeah.
But from future of that is ropes.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. I won't plug anything because there won't be one for a while. Stay safe, stay indoors, and wash your hands.